Once again, welcome everyone. I am Devana, Marketing Manager at Percipere. I would like to thank everyone on behalf of Percipere for joining our today's webinar on overcoming ERP migration challenges to build a future-ready business. So, dealing with multiple customers in India and internationally, we have seen migration is a challenge for many. And I'm sure with this webinar, we will help you to overcome this challenge. And how? Let's see the agenda for today. Vidya, can you please move to the next slide? Thank you. So here's our agenda for today. We will be starting with the introduction of our experts along with the Percipere advantage. Percipere as a business transformation partner, navigating ECC customer challenges, the case study, the transformation customer value journey, next steps, and Q&A. So here is our entire agenda. Moving ahead, I would like to introduce to our speakers. So we have great speakers today. So here is our team. Mr. Praveen Deshpande. So Praveen is a senior advisor in manufacturing and supply chain. He has an experience of 38 years in global manufacturing, supply chain and technology sector, in which 28 years of experience is in SAP domain itself, and along with it, he was a global VP and SAP head for Tech Mahindra. He was also a solution architect for leading global organizations like Bharat Forge, Ricoh, Wipro, and many more. Praveen is a thought leader and an industry veteran, having a deep expertise in AI, supply chain, industrial engineering, and is keen to drive digital transformation. Praveen, we are happy to have you in our webinar. So our next speaker for today is Mr. Anand Argade. So Anand is also a senior director at Percipere in innovations and customer success. He has an overall 15 years of global experience in digital transformation and process improvements. He helps organization in transition to the intelligent enterprise. He is passionate about driving seamless transition and ensuring businesses to achieve operational experience through digital adoption. Our next speaker for today is, thank you Anand for having us in our webinar. Our next speaker for today is Vidya Kudve. So Vidya is our principal consultant. She has 15 years of experience, including 8 years of experience as specializing in SAP logistics module. She has an extensive expertise in ERP implementations, rollout, and support across multiple industries. She is a key driver for our ERP transformation initiatives, helping clients to navigate complex digital transformations and unlock business value through innovative solutions. You will definitely meet Vidya in your meetings as well. So Vidya, thank you for being a part of our webinar. And our final expert for today is Mr. Pranay Mathur, who is also our sales director. So Pranay has overall 21 years of diverse experience in different sectors, starting from manufacturing, infrastructure, retail, IT. He specializes in SAP S/4HANA migration, enabling businesses to modernize their ERP systems, and also helping the clients to maximize their ERP investments and achieve operational excellence. So Pranay, we are happy to have you on a webinar. Great. So moving ahead, for us, Vidya, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah. So moving ahead, for us to understand you as an audience, we would like to run our first poll for today. It helps to understand us that what are your top priorities when considering an SAP S/4HANA cloud implementation. And we request everyone to answer a poll. So here is our first poll for today. So yes, I request everyone to please answer our polls. Great, we can see 50% have answered. Great to know that there are a good number of people who are actually answering. We'll keep the poll up for a few seconds more. Well, we will just end this poll for today. So what we have seen is that majority people have answered optimizing business processes in SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Yes, that is an important factor. Well, in Anand's presentation, you'll get to know how Percipere will be helping you in that. So up next, Pranay will be helping you about to know more about Percipere. Pranay.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Devina, for setting the context, and I once again welcome you all. Let me quickly introduce you to Percipere Consulting. We are a global IT company which helps organizations in their digital transformation journey. We are an ISO and BSI certified company, hence delivering quality is what matters most to us. The term Percipere in Latin means thorough understanding, and that is true to who and what we are. We have our global centers and offices in India and also offices spread in UK, Dubai, and Canada. We're a team of experienced 250 plus global consultants, some of who have been in the SAP domain for over 20 plus years, and some those who are at the customer side, CAs, CFOs, CIOs, supply chain heads, and so on. This combination of both the worlds is what that truly makes us remarkable as we comprehensively understand both the sides. All of these consultants are exposed to both global and domestic projects, and hence they always try to bring in the best practices and global learnings, which will help you in this transformation journey. We have four major interlinked verticals, which helps us drive transformation journey for our customers. First being the process consulting practice. Next is our SAP practice. We happen to be SAP multi-country gold partners. We consult and implement all SAP solutions, including the Rise with SAP uh, and the latest Signavio, SAP Signavio as well. We have intelligent automation, AI/ML as our next practice, followed by a very specialized field of process mining where we help organizations to visualize their processes, overcome bottlenecks, and improve KPIs. Yeah. Yeah, so from last couple of years, we've been closely in touch with many CIOs, IT heads, SAP heads across various industries. We've been discussing about their imminent need to move from ECC to S/4HANA Cloud. Today, as we speak, I can confidently say that to a great extent, we have understood the challenges which the organizations are talking about. If I were to broadly categorize them, they can be divided into organizational challenges, system challenges, data challenges. We also believe that when there are challenges, there are also opportunities. So let's look at few of them one by one. Beginning with the organizational challenges, we see that understanding of as is current process is important. So, do we really understand our current processes? Many of the CIOs I have spoken with today are struggling to map their existing processes accurately, making it difficult to plan for the future. So, opportunity here is that by leveraging tools like process mining and SAP Signavio, you can gain a detailed understanding of your what your current processes are. This clarity would allow you to more accurately plan and identify your inefficiencies, and it will also help you optimize operations and better decision making. The next is choosing the correct cloud landscape. So some of you would have a dilemma as to what kind of cloud landscape should we opt. So here is another opportunity where you can actually evaluate your specific business needs and long-term goals, which can help you build a tailored cloud strategy, which can bring in flexibility, scalability, and cost efficiency. The third challenge that we see is that there is a mindset shift from on-premise to cloud. So the cultural and mindset shift required for moving from on-premise to cloud solution can be a significant hurdle. Now, effective change management in order can actually foster a culture of innovation and agility. So if you prepare teams for this shift, it will enhance their adaptability and openness to new technologies which will come forward. Ultimately, it will lead to a more resilient and forward thinking organization. Aligning with the senior management. So many clients face difficulties in gaining buy-in from senior management, especially when it comes to the economics of moving to the cloud. Again, an opportunity, because if you can build a compelling business case with detailed economic analysis, you can secure senior management buy-in. This will only help you drive a very unified vision and commitment across the organization. Next, if we look at the system challenges, obviously the important point that comes in is what customizations do we really retain? So deciding on which customizations to carry forward can be challenging. But here again, you have an opportunity to identify essential customizations, eliminate redundant ones which can streamline processes and reduce complexity. This simplification can lead to a more efficient system, easier maintenance, and lower cost. The next is how to manage complexity of integration. Now, integrating S/4HANA Cloud with existing systems can be complex. But again, here is an opportunity that our expertise in SAP Business Technology Platform can ensure a seamless integration with minimal disruptions. The next is what we have observed are the data challenges. Enhancing KPIs for value driven transformation. And I'm sure you would appreciate that you are all concerned on how to improve your KPIs to ensure that the digital transformation drive that you are going to be undertaking is is derives value and is not just resulting in an additional cost. So opportunity here is for you to establish new and clear KPIs and benchmarks which can ensure that digital transformation efforts are measurable and aligned with your business objectives. Ensuring data and security compliance. Right? Clients often worry about the data security and compliance when moving to the cloud. Here again is an opportunity where you can design secure and compliant cloud architecture which can build trust and confidence among stakeholders. Well, these are some of the challenges and also opportunities. Please remember, this kind of opportunity comes in many, many years, and hence treating this as an opportunity is the right mindset. Thank you. And over to you, Devina.
Thanks, Pranay, for introducing Percipere to audiences and also to make our audience understand how to integrate with cloud and ensure how the KPI is met. So moving ahead for the next poll. So just before starting this poll, we would like to understand as a responsible person for your IT team, what are your top challenges when you are upgrading to ECC? So here is the poll for today. Is the poll visible to everyone? I request everyone to please answer what are your top challenges when upgrading to ECC. Great. We can see many people are answering. Data security, yes, that is the challenge. Understanding current processes, definitely. You should understand the current processes before moving. And the partner should also help understand your processes too. So we'll keep the poll active for a few minutes. 40% have replied, we are moving. Oh, we have reached 55% votes. Let's aim for more. We have many attendees over here. I request everyone to answer. Great. So I will end the poll for today. So yes, I see the majority of you have answered data migration and mindset shift. Yes, those are important factors. And let's learn from Praveen and his experience how he managed to tackle these challenges. So as a part of our next session, and that is our customer experience, what we are sharing now is the first experience of migration from SAP ECC to SAP Cloud with one of a prestigious auto component manufacturer. Handing over to Vidya, who monitors all our project deliveries of manufacturing customers, and Praveen, who empowers and advises customers with his decades of experience in auto supply chain and SAP domain.
Thank you, Devina. Let me start by introducing you the use case that we'll be discussing today, or rather the case study for SAP S/4HANA transformation. The company name has been masked so that the confidentiality is kept. And let me introduce now a bit about the company. The company was a mid-size auto component manufacturer organization, a prime vendor to auto companies with multi-location manufacturing. It was a cost effective, rapid, and successful implementation of SAP cloud migration from old SAP ECC environment. An organization which was highly process driven but operating on dated SAP version based on heavy customization of standard SAP ECC system. Large auto manufacturing customers were demanding better visibility of supply capacity and delivery dates. Some were even looking for integration with their own systems. Huge pricing pressure and much needed process improvements for better lead times weren't happening due to old SAP process mapping and data inflexibility, coupled with customized program and costly system maintenance for both hardware and software. So, how did we do it? So, we improved the business process efficiency and performance, along with reduced process cycle times, resulting into reduced inventory, manufacturing lead times, and reduced per unit cost. Offered better delivery dates visibility to customers at times by giving access to customers for viewing the order status. Redefining processes of production planning and inventory management by studying the patterns and changing the strategies like make to order versus make to stock. Procurement production decisions. Introduce digital automation in repetitive and unproductive workflows and processes. Made the organization ready for future by enabling better integration between R&D and CRM. So, Praveen, thank you for joining us today. Now, let me start with my first question to you. What approach you took while migrating old business processes to SAP cloud business processes?
Yeah. Hi Vidya and hello everybody. I'm Praveen. As Vidya suggested, we have done very successful SAP implementation in SAP Cloud, migrating from SAP ECC. And for today's webinar, we thought that we would be sharing our experiences based on very complicated implementation in terms of processes, management, locations, and of course the cost considerations. So the approach which we wanted to take for migrating from old SAP process to new SAP cloud process, first we believe that this migration needs to be adopted as a best opportunity to improve the business processes itself. What we did
Yes,
first is educate customer that migration is not just a technological change. It is an
true.
opportunity to get guidance of some of the outdated or unproductive processes. And that's what we did with this customer to improve the hygiene of the business processes. Unlike other SAP users, particularly this company, they were using SAP for some time, for at least 6 to 7 years minimum, and they had a structured data with them. I mean, they had material masters and routings, and a lot of data was actually available. So,
Correct.
unlike non-SAP users, yeah, the data
Mhm.
availability and the readiness of data, training for data, etc., was surely avoided because most of the data was in
True.
structured form. So that was the good part of it. What we have reduced is the our unproductive time in data normalizing and things like that, which we generally do. So that was the advantage. However, the processes had lot of documentation. I mean, it was involved lot of approvals. It was involved lot of aligning, and the workflows were complicated. They were not adhering to the times they wanted to achieve. For example, say
True.
from creation of purchase order to
Mhm.
actual GR, I mean,
Okay.
barring the time of actual supplying unit, the time required
True.
inside the organization for the workflows
Uh-huh.
approval was sluggish, and it was not sluggish only due to
Oh,
the progress in the process, the volume
okay.
of the data, the volume of
Uh-huh.
approvals, the validation it required, all were
Mm-hmm.
pretty manual, though SAP was implemented. So the opportunity for us was that in SAP Cloud, what can we digitize further? So
True.
that was the approach, that we could avoid whatever the sluggish processes are there. A lot of reports were asked for in the earlier system. So where the reports
Uh-huh.
were really used, if they were used for what decision making. So we kind of became very critical about which
Mm-hmm.
processes are really required and what needs to be abandoned. So how we did it? I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of processes which are involved. So, I mean, many of organizations also go for SAP Signavio, little costly affair though. But we, as Percipere, we have deployed our own process mining tool called Future. It is very
Okay.
famous, and we have used it many a times. What it did was basically, slice and dice the efficiency of all the processes. Where there are inordinate delays, what are the
Mm-hmm.
bottlenecks? What bottlenecks are stopping further processes to be removed? So we first, our approach was to hygienize all the business processes before we even touch any logging in. So I think that approach was immensely important to us. Uh, that is the
Okay.
reason we wanted to shift from ECC to cloud. So I think that was the first approach, or I would say first step, which we took
True.
while we migrated from this as a transformation.
True. Streamlining of the business process, definitely, that's the key. The process is your backbone, so it has to be streamlined and
Absolutely,
perfect. Now let me
absolutely,
go to one more question, Praveen. Get ready for the
yeah,
next one. So,
yeah.
so the next question that I have is, as you rightly mentioned, there were huge reports and functionalities which were there, the custom ones, though, which were there. So, how did you address these challenges of migrating the old, specially developed functionalities or reports to the new system, the new cloud system? As the users are very much used to their own processes, their own T codes, their own functionalities and reports. So, how did you manage that?
Vidya, instead of saying manage that, we actually enjoyed that part.
Oh, is it?
Why I'm saying this is, yeah, I mean, generally it's looked as a challenge, but that's the most interesting part for we as a domain process experts or business process owners, I would say. Uh, it is a chance for us to review what has happened in the past. Why have they developed, customer has developed so many different Z programs? What was that was
Mhm.
not happening in earlier SAP system, but they were very special to customer. So they have
Correct.
customized certain functionalities. There are so many reports, maybe periodic report, daily report, monthly production reports, inventory cycle reports, inventory value reports, inventory carrying cost reports, and I would say hundreds of financial reports. So what was that need to create so
Mhm.
many reports? So we little became critical about
Okay.
how we want to do it. And this is not just, I would say, a knee jerk reaction, because, as you know, we are
Mhm.
having our own methodology called
Right.
customized process audits, right? So depending on the type of
Sure.
vertical, if it auto or if it is like plastic manufacturing, toys manufacturing,
True.
chemicals, so depending on a generic verticalization, we have an idea about what type of reports or what type of benchmarks and KPIs are required to run a business. So we kind of compared and
Okay.
analyzed those in three categories, all the processes. One was
Mhm.
that are these processes are really essential to customize even from ECC to cloud if we want to
Mhm.
move, and if there are certain processes which still needs customization,
Correct.
despite organization being mature to use SAP for some time,
True.
there is kind of an understanding that this process was
Right.
not required to customize. It could have done in a
Mm.
standard way, or this could have been done in a
Right.
better way than what is being customized. So the three
Mm.
categories out of our audit. So that audit
Mm-hmm.
created three different lists. One was
Okay.
essential customization to be retained. Okay, I mean we do
Okay.
give due respect to what really customer needs. I mean in this particular
Sure.
customer part, batch management, serial numbers, and connecting that with the production orders, and
Mm-hmm.
then aligning that with the sales orders because the servicing needs to be done later on, right? So they
Sure.
had to have the part number traceability across with their own material numbering system, which could not have
True.
handled by any software for that matter, forget SAP. So that
Correct.
customization was
Okay.
definitely had to be replicated in a little better way. So such
Okay.
customization was essential customization. Second was redundant customization to be eliminated completely. We
Okay.
eliminated 32% of the, I would say, Z programs or customization
Oh.
while we shifted.
Wow.
That
Okay.
made life much easier in the sense that
True.
when this SAP was implemented, there were core
Mm-hmm.
users, they were not used to ERP systems earlier. So they
Correct.
designed their own systems in SAP. But after many
True.
years, new people joined the organization. They knew better
Right.
processes, but they had to follow our old processes because they were designed that way. So this was an
Mm.
opportunity to make the reports and processes redundant. So that was the second category. Third category
Okay.
was what is that was customized earlier and can be done in a better way in SAP Cloud itself, because world has moved.
Right.
Some processes,
Correct.
some of the processes earlier with this customer were depending on
Uh-huh.
how their suppliers behave. Okay,
Okay.
they were pretty crude way of subcontracting.
Oh,
In
okay.
last 7 8 years, they have changed their suppliers. Their supplier changed. Their suppliers
Okay.
implemented their own ERP, and
Uh-huh.
now such kind
Mm-hmm.
of a process could have been integrated rather than being manual. So these
True.
processes we could absorb in SAP Cloud because that was
Mm.
not possible in HANA because it was not cloud based. So mind you, that was the
Yeah.
difference which made in this customer that cloud based solution enabled them to
Mm-hmm.
really connect their suppliers well. So that was an advantage which I would say. So in short,
True.
what I'm trying to say
Mm-hmm.
here is in this particular aspect, it is
Uh-huh.
the understanding of the important and critical domain processes is very
Okay.
important. Okay, uh,
Sure.
we need to walk the talk. We as domain experts first needs to extract that value when we are
Mm-hmm.
moving from EC to a cloud, looking
Uh-huh.
at what SAP can offer versus what
Uh-huh.
that organization can take. So
Okay.
that analysis came through the audit which we conduct for before any migration for that matter.
Okay. Thank you, Praveen, for this answer. Now, let me go back to one more question for you. This is more
Sure.
from the aspect of business value, I would say. So,
Yeah.
so, what are the benefits of migration after the implementation? So, my question to you here is, how did customer gauge the benefits of migration? How could he perceive the value which will be added by migration than a pure technological change from an on-premise to a cloud platform?
Right. Again, uh, before any customer invests, post implementation, particularly those customers who have already implemented SAP, they're fairly
Okay.
aware that
Yeah.
what is that area expecting from migration. Okay, why are they
True.
moving? What is the advantage? I mean, you are supposed to spend some money there, and
Yeah.
are you just changing the system? Are you just having the technological shift? So obviously that is not the case. Okay, well, it
True.
all depends on what direction your organization wants to take in the future. This is about the future, I would say. Okay, with
Correct.
all the new technological innovations and process adoptions, every organization fiercely wants to compete and to keep themselves relevant in the process. Okay,
Right.
in this particular
Absolutely.
case, what happened was, because of cloud platform, the
Mm-hmm.
efforts which are required to manage the networking and
Okay.
hardware was taken off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the focus
Perfect.
was
Yes.
only on the KPIs which were required to be improved in the system. So
Mm.
it is not about cloud or SAP or ECC. It is about more about KPIs, what you want to achieve as a business process. So
Okay.
another focus was how to improve productivity across the system, right from R&D to after sales service. Okay, because
Uh-huh.
in patches, a few things were done. The HR was implemented little later on. Quality management
Mm-hmm.
module was fully utilized. Plant maintenance
Okay.
module was only for feeding the data. Was not really
All right.
used or leveraged
Okay.
as a value-added
Mm.
system. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
that was one part of it.
Uh-huh.
Focus was also on futuristic requirement of the business. Okay, how are you going to
True.
make your organization more accessible to your vendors,
Correct.
to your
Correct.
customers, your dealers, your partners? They all are
Okay.
expecting now you to be engaged with them, not
Mm-hmm.
by some websites or something. They want to engage on a real time basis for all your processes. That is one more
Correct.
reason why you moved from ECC to cloud in first place. So this
Yes.
transparency is required. Customer gets transparency. Is my delivery date going to change? Is my
Mm.
supplier
Right.
is their supplier knew that if the production orders have changed, what is that they need to
Mm.
do? Because it is was used because of the cloud integration part. So it was not
Okay.
possible earlier in the ECC system. Okay, so that was one
True.
big change which was done. Another
Sure.
thing was their employees were more connected in the process environment.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
if like sales folks or people who are on maintenance, after sales maintenance, moving around, okay, when they were
Mm-hmm.
connected to the cloud SAP system, their
Mm-hmm.
life really became easy in this case. Okay, so
True.
that
Very good.
became a very fast, I would say, reaction for such processes. Decisions could be made more in faster way.
Okay.
Even small
Right.
decisions like spare part management or big decision
Mm-hmm.
about whether this part should be imported. So such, I would say,
Okay.
decisions could have made fast in the process. So this is where what we actually added value when we did
All
this
right.
migration from ECC to cloud. So I would say that is something which impacted our position in the at the customer end.
Okay. Thank you, Praveen. So now when we are saying a complete end-to-end process, right, from R&D to the customer service, now the question comes about my security and confidentiality. So didn't your customer voice his concern over data security and confidentiality of information while moving from ECC to SAP Cloud Platform? So what was it
Yeah.
regarding?
Interestingly, before we won such project, this was discussed quite at length because of some
Okay.
patent issues actually, and of
Okay.
course product design,
Hmm.
bill of material. These were three important aspects of it. So
All right.
feeling insecure, feeling anxious about your proprietary information is very obvious. I
Hmm.
mean, no two things
Correct.
about it. Okay, but the important role what we played there, okay, is because
Hmm.
we know how to handle this using SAP BTP as a platform. Okay, I mean
True.
this platform is by SAP globally is being tested, proved, adhering to certain standards like ISO 27001 or some
Okay.
automotive specific standards, like IATF. So such
Okay.
standards are followed when such architecture is being developed. So
Okay.
our ambition as service provided is
Hmm.
to actually know how to use these security platforms. Okay,
Sure.
which are the gates? How to secure those gates? SAP
Okay.
BTP platform is a
Hmm.
platform which allows you to connect for the future discussion like AI, for future integration with vendors,
Okay.
for R&D units which has been taken over by that particular company later on. So the
Uh-huh.
integration was
Hmm.
required. So these gateways or these accesses, how they need to be
Hmm.
structured, how the architecture needs to have happened, that is what we are
True.
expert in. So, and by the
Correct.
way, let me tell you, I mean, apart from our expertise, I've
Right.
been working in the domain for last 30 years plus, but I
Sure.
haven't seen a single case of data breach. Okay,
Great.
particularly when it comes to the integration part. So while we shift to the cloud, I'm sure SAP has taken far better efforts to make that legacy continue over there.
Thank you so much, Praveen. I think that assurance of confidentiality and security is really important. And when it is coming from an expert like you, then I think the customer is even more happier and confident about his data security aspect about it. Now, let me come to the last question, but an important one, which I would say beyond the system, but most discussed. That's about change management. Mindsets and comfort levels of existing environment needs to be addressed. Similarly, top management needs to be confident about ROI. What's your experience in general about this aspect?
Yeah. Now, this is not something which is little like generic in nature. Every organization is like a person to deal with. Okay, I mean, it has its own culture, it has its own habits, it has its own organization structures. So however we templatize or best practice the business processes, how those
Sure.
organizations actually implement them and deal
Mm-hmm.
with each other on a daily basis
Mm-hmm.
varies no quite a lot. So in our case, in this particular
Mm-hmm.
case, that was a case where top management itself was not very sure about the ROI part. Okay, so
Okay.
how we handle that is by simulating certain business
Mm-hmm.
processes and showing that if your organization works in this fashion, this is how you
Uh-huh.
are going to reduce the communication gaps, or this is how you are going to create the accountability in your in processes. Not everyone
Okay.
will try to answer every question if something goes wrong.
Mm.
So that kind
True.
of a transparency, I mean, when you superimpose all the business processes and the organization
Right.
structure on top of it, then you can clearly see
Correct.
the gaps of how it can happen. Okay, so during,
Right.
and also what happens is during SAP ECC earlier on-premise implementation, management
Okay.
as organization has experienced some struggle in training requirements, workflow designs,
Right.
quality of data. Okay, and similarly, the change management part, the structure, reporting, workflows, and things like that. Another change management was related to the periodic reports which organizations wanted. Everybody wanted their own reports. So was
Right.
it really necessary? What decision was to be made? So
Hmm.
we actually conduct change management workshops
Okay.
by considering what happens in the process in the organization. Okay, so
Okay.
we actually created a workshop, kind of a process workshop seminars for that
Mm-hmm.
organization. We studied,
Okay.
this is customer sensitive information, so
All right.
how the process executives are actually working, how the process workflows are happening, how the authorization should flow, so that your finance reports are good enough for you to understand the KPIs. Are the
Mm-hmm.
KPIs holistic for the entire organization? So such thing needs
Okay.
to be relooked when you are moving from ECC to cloud, is because mobility of people had changed.
Uh-huh.
Because cloud,
Okay.
you can access your reports from the airport, etc. So
Great.
I'm sure processes have changed because of the mobility, because of after the COVID work from home kind of a culture. So
Sure.
these are also the impacts which we have to take into consideration when we
Mm.
see the change management. Otherwise, uh, integration will happen, migration will happen, data will be in its place, configuration and
Right.
systems will be in their place, but it will still not be a successful implementation if change management is not handled properly. So I think we are a partner and responsible that this needs to happen perfectly, so that you actually grow that confidence in customer also, that the migration is not just technology, but migration is changing the
Right.
culture.
True. True. Thank you, Praveen, for sharing your experience. Back to you, Devina.
So once again, thank you Vidya and Praveen for sharing your customer experiences and how we took step by step approach for migration shift from ECC to S4 HANA Cloud for our customer. So moving ahead, we would like to have the next poll for today. So as an IT head and IT decision maker, what is important factor for making the cloud decision? So here is a poll, and the poll is live. I request everyone to please answer the polls. So yes, we are getting good responses. I request everyone to please answer the polls. Hmm. So security and compliance consideration are important factors, along with alignment with the current business and future growth. That's nice. So I request everyone. It will help us to understand you as a person more in detail, your organization more in detail. So I'll just end the poll for today. And we have known that, oh, people are yet answering. I'm keeping it live for a few more seconds.
Even a good to see
Okay,
active
okay.
participation, right?
Yes, actually. So I'll just end a poll for today. So yes, many have responded to cost implications, ROI, along with other factors too. So we are sure our team will be helping you in that. And once again, Praveen and Vidya, thank you for an engaging conversation that highlighted key aspects of S4 HANA transformation initiative. Up next, Anand will delve into various phases of the transformation, showcasing how we have developed our unique approach and accelerators to deliver value to our customers at every stage. So, Anand, up to you.
Thanks, Devina, and welcome everyone. So yeah, with Praveen and Vidya covering fantastically one of the use cases for a customer, I would be actually kind of covering the value journey in terms of how we approach the transformation projects for our customers. Yep. So with regards to S4HANA transformations, our approach has always been to not just focus on streamlining the S4 transformation journey, but also to keep the system future ready by adopting the continuous improvement initiatives. So accordingly, I've listed out key phases of this journey and how we use our accelerators and tools to add value to the customer. Yeah, so the first phase is the preparation phase, in which which involves basically evaluation of organization's readiness for migration by identifying business needs and understanding the transformation goals. Yeah, so for this we adopt our discovery assessment solutions to get a deep dive of the overall system and process landscape. This also helps in process standardization as well as getting rid of any unwanted processes or systems. Yeah, it also provides, more importantly, it kind of provides a platform for benchmarking and adopting best practices. Yeah, which is what we all want. We want the clean core, right? When we go to S4, so this is one of the key platforms in terms of ensuring that we adopt the best practices for our processes. Then another important step from a preparation perspective is to ensure that the IT infrastructure is capable of supporting S4 HANA core as well as advanced functionalities. So here we assess the systems, we ensure that whatever version of S4 is being deployed with all the functionalities, our IT infrastructure is assessed and kept ready for any kind of a scaling up in future. Yeah, so this is another important step from a preparation perspective, which is handled mostly by our discovery assessment solutions. The next phase is landscape evaluation. which involves performing system audit. Yeah, so this is basically assessing the existing ECC systems to identify any customizations, any legacy integrations, or any kind of an add-ons that we have built on a system. Yeah, this helps us in determining what needs to be retained or modified or replaced from a solutioning perspective. So more of a solution architecture control is what we could do with this evaluation. Another important activity is we perform is to evaluate and choose the correct S4 HANA version that can easily be scaled up or enhanced to stay in line with changing business environment. And a very extremely important task, because we don't want to do a one-time transformation, but we want to ensure that our systems can stay at pace with any changes in business environment or any new strategic business goals. So that's one key element we keep in mind when we get into the landscape evaluation phase. Yeah, the third phase is migration strategy, yeah, which involves choosing the appropriate approach, whether it's greenfield as in the new implementation, or a brownfield, that's system conversion, or an hybrid approach which takes the best out of both the approaches. Again, this is done basis the assessments that we do in the first two phases. Yeah, once this approach is finalized, we then built a project roadmap which involves developing a detailed migration plan with milestones and timelines for each stage. Yeah, in this phase, again, we use some key accelerators like SAP Migration Cockpit, SAP Rapid Data Migration to facilitate and streamline the migration tasks. This also, in fact, as Praveen mentioned, this kind of provides us an opportunity to rationalize our data sets and not dump any unwanted data in the new S4 HANA system. Yeah. So apart from the data migration strategy, uh, with our strong test automation capabilities, we help customers create smart test scripts which significantly reduce the testing efforts. This has been really useful for many of our customers to reduce the migration and execution timeline. So effectively using the test automation solutions really help our execution activities. Yeah. So talking about the execution, the next phase itself is the execution phase, in which we start with the custom code adoption uh, that involves reviewing and adapting the custom code from ECC, and making it compatible with S4 HANA. Yeah, here we leverage the S4 HANA conversion and optimization toolkit. Yeah, in this phase, it is also important to evaluate and plan integration strategies for any third-party systems like any point of sale systems, CRMs, SCMs. What are the integration points with S4HANA? It's important to build a integration strategy. So for this, again, we have built some checks and accelerators that ensure that whatever new strategy is built, it works best with SAP Cloud Platform or any other middleware solutions which are utilized by our customers. So very important aspect is to kind of identify the integration needs and build a strategy taking the best functionalities available within the middleware, or if you are using the SAP Cloud Platform, take the best features within the cloud platform to build the integrations. Yeah. Now, once we have done the execution, the last phase obviously is we are already on S4. Yeah, but as I mentioned earlier, we don't stop our journey over there. This is something where we really add very good value for our customers, because we work very closely with them for any continuous improvement initiatives. Yeah, it typically would involve building a long-term roadmap, as in to plan and build the timelines for future upgrades, future roadmaps, or if you want to deploy any new S4 HANA features as per the new business needs. All those aspects are part of creating a roadmap for our customers. Further, once the system matures, we help our customers to embark operational excellence initiatives using our process mining solutions, help them build automation strategies using our intelligent automation and BTP practice. Again, further, we also help in standardizing and smoothing the IT landscape, which is very important, because here we adopt the enterprise architecture solutions like Linux to make the systems light from an operation perspective. It also kind of ensures that we have a less TCO from an CTO perspective. And there is also provisions of simulating various IT scenarios as per the business requirements. Yeah, so the enterprise architecture solution really gives an opportunity for the IT heads to create simulations and ensure that any new business scenarios are first simulated before we deploy any new systems or solutions. So that's something which is also part of continuous improvement. And as you have as what was covered by Praveen, the main ask is, or in fact the main aim from our side as a partner is to kind of keep the system future ready. Yeah, so it's not just about a transformation as a technical project. We see our intention is to kind of migrate to a S4 HANA system which is live, as in which actually kind of breathes as per the business requirements, and which is kept future ready in terms of handling any new situations or scenarios that come that come as a part of requirements from business. Yeah. So now that I've covered the phases, it will be interesting for all of you to have a look at some of the solutions we use to streamline the S4 HANA transformation processes. So the first one is the transformation planning itself. Again, an extremely effective and a strong solution from a migration perspective. Here, what we have is basically as a part of preparation, we analyze what are the key processes which are required while we move from ECC to S4. What are the immediate actions to be taken, yeah, for those processes, so so that we can adopt the best practices in S4. So there is actually a action which we call as corrective recommendations, innovation recommendations. And the third section is what are the metrics we need to analyze so that our system is ready for transformation. Yeah, so extremely strong functionality and a tool where we are actually assessing our existing system, highlighting what are the corrections we do in the ECC system itself before we embark the transformation journey. Yeah, there is also one section which we call as value analysis, which we provide, where we talk about the potential benefits in terms of savings if we are able to focus on certain KPIs and improve those metrics based on the correction recommendations provided by us. So there is actually kind of an potential saving analysis, which helps customers to do a ROI in terms of moving from ECC to S4HANA. So some kind of an ballpark figure that can help and do a ROI assessment is something that can be done through value analysis. Next slide, please, Vidya. Yeah, the next section is process insights, yeah, and recommendation. So again, here, as I mentioned in the earlier part of my presentation, the first phase where we are talking about detailed preparation is where we get into this phase called as process insights and recommendations, right? So here, the idea is to do a deep dive of our existing ECS systems, identify what are the process gaps, yeah, where probably the current EC system is not meeting the business requirements. And on the right hand side of the slide, the top right hand section, we recommend the S4 HANA capabilities that can help better the KPIs or better the process. Yeah, so there is a recommendation engine, there is an insights engine which provides a dashboard view of our existing processes and the recommendations we would have in terms of deploying S4 HANA functionalities. There is also a tracking feature available for initiating any improvements, process improvement initiatives, which we can see in the lower section of the slide. Obviously, I mean, for this particular webinar, we'll keep it at a very high level. We'll be very happy to kind of engage with you to kind of discuss these in more detail, and we look forward for all of you to reach out to us to kind of understand our methodologies and understand how we deploy our solutions. The last part of my section in terms of the assessments is process consulting. Again, this is extremely useful when we get into the continuous improvement phase of the project. This particular these solutions are focused more around understanding whether our system, once we move to S4 HANA, is adopting is adhering to the best practices, is actually kind of conforming to the SOPs that we have defined in the process, highlight any kind of an inefficiencies, bottlenecks through the organizational mining section which is mentioned in the slide, or also get into and analyze the metrics from the analytics perspective as well. So it's like a complete process consulting package we have, which helps you build roadmap for your improvements, as well as understand any inefficiencies you have in once you move from ECC to S4 HANA system. Yeah. So yeah, so this is something which I wanted to cover for today. Back to you, Devina.
Thank you, Anand, for walking our audiences to Percipere customer journey. So just before moving to our next web part, I would like to have a small poll, a quick poll. So since Anand has walked us through the value journey, we would like to know which you find the most challenging. So here is the poll for today. So yes, I request everyone, where do you find the most challenges? Great, we are at the end of session and we can see that it's like 40% of people have voted. Anand, if you can see the screen as well, migration and execution
Yeah.
strategy is the most challenging
Yeah.
one.
Correct, correct. I mean, this is something we expected because that is what we have come across
Yeah.
with interacting with most of our customers. Yeah, I think migration strategy is where, in fact, we also kind of focus more in terms of providing a correct approach and a strategy for our customers while moving from ECC to S4. Yeah, good to know that the audience is also in line with what our experience has
Yeah.
been.
Yes. So I guess when Praveen has something to say. Praveen, what do you
Yeah,
feel?
I mean, I was just observing, and uh, it is not being reflected, but I think improvement part is something which can be realized when you are in the process. Probably when you are migrating, then you would understand and appreciate, or you can see more opportunities for improvement, uh, because migration and landscape evaluation like concerns are more towards the toolkit or methodology concerns, and improvement is something which is a little unknown, and that is why that can be walked through when you are actually implementing the strategy.
True, that's true. So I will just quickly end the poll for today and we can just move to Pranay. Yeah, Vidya, next slide, Vidya, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, basically, are you ready to take your SAP journey to the next level? So, at Percipere Consulting, you've already seen that we are here to support you no matter where you stand today in your transformation journey. If you have already mapped out your transformation plan, let us help you reassess that with confidence. So our experts will validate your decisions which you have taken. We can help you fine tune your strategy and ensure that whatever decisions you have taken, which is obviously going to be for long term, are right and that you are on the right track to achieve measurable results. If you are just getting started, then partner with us from day one. We will guide you every step of the way, simplifying the transition and customizing and solutioning that align perfectly with your business goal. And if you're still on the fence, not yet decided, need some more time, then why not start with our intelligent AMS? So, where we will enhance your current SAP ECC systems, we can provide you immediate support there and also strategically prepare you for a seamless transformation to SAP S4HANA. So, that's what our intelligent AMS is all about. So with our expertise, you will stay ahead of the curve, drive efficiency, and unlock new opportunities for growth. So uh, let's shape your SAP journey together and contact us. Our numbers and email IDs, etc. Everything is displayed there. Yeah, Devina.
Thanks, Pranay. So here is a quick poll for everyone. So do you want to shape your journey together? Let us know how.
Thank you, team.
So yes. We can see people are still deciding or just starting the transformation journey. Also, if you, we can see there are a few questions in the question in section box, but we are over the time, so we'll definitely get in touch with you and respond those. If there are more questions to be parked, please drop in the question and answer boxes, and our team will reach out to you. So good to know. I'll just quickly end the poll, and I thank everyone for being a wonderful audience today. Thank you so much.